Today we are heading to Joshua Tree, California. This is our Airbnb. It is so freaking cute. Look at this view. So this is just a studio. It's just a small space, but I mean, who cares when you get to wake up to this? Coming inside, this is the kitchen area. Love the honeycomb. So I've actually had this place on my watch list for the last 2 years. It's been kind of a dream to stay here. And let's just go into a couple of rooms here. So this is the bathroom. And the shower. Yeah. We've even got some really nice shampoo and conditioner. Cute little mirror. I got these at the store. Out into the living space. I mean, just look at this. Got a stove. Microwave, massive fridge, massive, yeah, and just like the detailing of everything is just really, really nice. Look at these cups. This is personally my favorite part right here. We've got the nice little coffee and tea corner, beautiful mugs, but as we pan down, an aeropress setup. I don't think I've ever stayed at an Airbnb, let alone accommodation of any sort, that has provided an aeropress and coffee and a kettle. I mean, I'm just so excited to have, you all know I love an Ethiopian coffee. Yes, I even brought my aeropress. I wasn't sure what the coffee scenario was gonna be, but I am pleasantly surprised right now. Got some more mugs over here. This is the view from out the kitchen window. Beautiful, stunning, love it. And then this, of course, again, is the view outside. I'm flabbergasted. So I'll show you the room and the living space in a second, but like, look at the views. Just this whole wall is window. We've got the living space, really nice rug, couch. That's the bed back there with the beautiful mural. A really cool thing about this place is that it is dog friendly, so you can bring your dog. I love that. They've got a little water and food bowl here. There's also stuff for a fire because there is a fire pit outside and we are definitely going to get amongst that. I'm very excited. This is amazing. This is a dream come true, really. The first night, we made a fire and kind of just looked up at the stars as we had a pretty early start in the morning. We wanted to be inside Joshua Tree National Park in time to catch the sunrise. We were running a tad behind, but we still made it up to Keys View and the Cholla Cactus Garden afterward to snap some pickies. Okay, the crazy thing to me is the fact that this Airbnb already has a coffee setup. Usually we're dealing with like an espresso or just like a shitty coffee scenario. This is not the case. We've got an actual AeroPress, which I'm surprised. I'm wondering actually if most of the guests that come here know how to use this, but this is California. I feel like Calis are a bit more ahead of the time in the coffee game, as well as a Hario hand grinder. So that's very cool. And some Joshua Tree Coffee Company to really keep it on brand. And then also a Kosori, I don't actually know how to say it, a kettle. But the cool thing about the kettle is that it's got all these nifty little gadgets on here. So you can have it set to different temps, but it's got a tea temp, coffee temp. All right, so the plan is that I'm gonna make an AeroPress outside and then I'm gonna fly the drone to try and get the sunset. We watched sunset in the park yesterday and we're planning to do sunrise in the park tomorrow morning before we take off to Palm Springs. So we figured we would just watch sunset from our lovely Airbnb, the Monochrome house, which I will link below because it is amazing. This is a mellow Ethiopian. I'm a little concerned about the roast date because it says July 4th, 2022, but I'm gonna go ahead and give them the benefit of the doubt and assume that they're just reusing the packaging and that this is actually fresh coffee inside. I don't have scales or anything, so I'm just gonna have to eyeball it, but I'm gonna grind some coffee. Got my little AeroPress tool, so I'm gonna use 1 scoop of coffee into the Hario, grind it up, and then start the brew. While that water is heating up, let's check on the sunset. How are we looking? How are we looking? I mean, I feel like it's gonna be a goodie. I mean, you can't go wrong with this view, number one. And you can't go wrong with these Crocs. So, all right, so like I said, I don't have scales or anything. So I'm just gonna be using the old trusty, ooh, she's a dark roast, honey. We're just gonna eyeball it. The star of the show here is obviously the background and not me. So, you know what was just absolutely stunning about that is that I did not hit record. So you didn't get to see me brewing it, but here she is. Do I think this coffee is fresh? No. Is it good? Is that curl just absolutely driving me insane? Yeah. But you know, it's about the vibe. It's about the vibe. So I'm into it. I don't know what bird that is, but it's really freaking loud. It'll look really good. We are also planning to go to Más o Menos, which is like, to my knowledge, it's a new place. Maybe it's not. But it's a new-ish, it's new to me. It's a little coffee shop during the day and a little cocktail bar at night. So it's just down the road, about 5 minutes. Very excited, very cute. And let's just stop talking and drink this coffee and get the drone up, okay? Let's get the drone. We finished the night with a nightcap at Mas o Menos for espresso martinis, which, might I add, was only an 8-minute drive from our Airbnb. Good morning. Please excuse my groggy voice, but this is the view from bed, and I don't want to leave it. I am so desperate to figure out how this can just be my life. We did have every intention of heading into the park, so just up that road. Watched sunrise this morning, but it was pretty overcast, and I think I'm starting to get sick, so I wasn't feeling the greatest. So I just watched it come up from over yonder. And I'm not sure if we're gonna make it back into the park today because we need to head out to Palm Springs. But as always, just such a pleasure being here. The best part for me about this Airbnb was that I just felt like I was outside the entire time. There were so many jackrabbits and coyotes that would run by, and all I wanted to do was just make coffee and watch. Two days was definitely not enough time. Sometimes I even contemplated just staying at the Monochrome to make coffees instead of going into the park because I could just sit here for hours and just watch. So next time, I definitely want to take at least a week to soak it all in, both here in Joshua Tree Town and also in the park. Luckily, we ended up making one final trip into Joshua Tree National Park, and I am so glad that we did. We climbed a bunch of rocks at Jumbo Rocks, and then Mom and I each went on our own solo adventure. So I found a spot all to myself, sitting on a rock overlooking thousands of Joshua trees, where I could just sit and write. It was pure magic. After Joshua Tree, we headed out to Palm Springs for one night before flying back out the following evening. I didn't get a lot of video footage, really, just took a lot of photos and enjoyed, cruised around, rode bikes, had coffee, ate a lot of food, and just soaked it all in. But as per usual, it's never enough time, never is, so I would definitely love to come back here again and spend a solid week. The desert just continues to pull me in, and I can't wait until I can come back. Until next time. This is the part of the cooking show that they don't show you. Is the setting up. Oh God. Okay. Just give me a second. Put that bad boy on. It's not gonna do shit, okay. That's boiling. And it's touched my fingers, so that's ouch. You know, I didn't even check the grind size, so that's Coffee 101. Well, it didn't really go as according to plan as I had hoped. Then again, nothing ever does.